All of the most popular grilled cheese videos on YouTube are flawed in at least one way. Gordon Ramsay didn't melt the cheese while still managing to burn the bread. Nick DiGiovanni used mayonnaise and placed it mayo side down onto the counter. Jamie Oliver buttered both sides of each slice for some reason and dirtied a few bottles. Even Papa and Babish missed a simple way to boost the flavour of their grilled cheese.
You don't want anything going soft earlier than you expect it to.
Only Big Gordon Ramsay did this.
Beautiful.
It's so simple but transforms it from being just delicious to an instant favourite. This truly is the best worst sandwich. So greasy but so satisfying. I'm not saying that any of these chefs have made a bad grilled cheese, just not an ideal one. Making the perfect grilled cheese is easier than you might think. First things first, bread. Plain white bread is just fine, and thickly sliced is best. I'm using this freshly baked white cob loaf because it's big and I wanted a big cheese sandwich. Butter or mayonnaise, you ask? Always use butter if you're going for the best flavour, which we are of course. Mayo can be substituted if you are too lazy to spread or warm the butter. But be warned, it has a bit of a weird tang and of course lacks butteriness. Use a generous amount of butter, which has been brought down to room temperature to make it easy to spread to avoid ripping the bread. The butter will also allow for better contact area for more evenly cooked bread. Don't waste your butter by putting it in the pan. As mentioned earlier, only Gordon Ramsay got this next step right despite the other few blunders he made. Watch carefully.
Want to season the outside.
He salted the butter, especially important if you are using unsalted butter. I tested this earlier by making grilled cheese sandwiches with plain cheddar cheese. Buttered, cut into 3 different shaped pieces so I could tell them apart. I seasoned one with salt, another with MSG, and the last piece was left unsalted. I did this twice, once with salted butter and the second time with unsalted. So we have the MSG versus unsalted versus salted. MSG first. Now the unsalted. Okay, those two already are quite different. The unsalted one's got a much milder flavour. Let's try the salted one. That one was different again. Salted one's probably got the most flavour. I'm going to test the salt versus the MSG now. It's really close. Some people may say that it's an overkill because the cheese is already salty. This unsalted one's just a little bit sad and bland. But unsalted butter lacks flavour. It's really close between the MSG and salt. I think the MSG really enhances that cheese flavour, whereas the salt one had more of a saltier, like sharper flavour. Either is fine, but I found I had to put a lot of MSG to make a difference compared to the amount of salt I required. As for the unsalted one, well, it's pretty bland. And the first thing that you taste when the sandwich enters your mouth is what's on the outside, the butter. Do you want to lead with a few seconds of disappointment? Probably not, so make sure you're using seasoned butter. Even when using salted butter, often a very small amount of extra salt still improves the flavour, unless you are using a really salty cheese such as American cheese, blue cheese, pecorino or Parmigiano Reggiano to name a few. I keep seeing this mistake all the time. Stop placing your bread buttered side down and leaving half the butter on the bench rather than on the sandwich. Use this simple but underutilized method. Leave the butter side up after buttering the bread. Then place the other buttered slice face down on top of the first. Easy, no mess. Alternatively, you can place it in the frying pan face down, then put the cheese on. Just be careful of burning yourself if you intend to make more than one. There's no perfect cheese for a grilled cheese sandwich. It just comes down to preference. Choose a cheese you love. But in saying that, it's best to try and choose a cheese that melts well. Preferably not all hard cheeses like Gruyere, although it's great when paired with a melting cheese such as cheddar, American, Jack, Gouda, Havarti or mozzarella to name a few. Mix and match to suit your taste. Let me know what cheese you like in the comments below. Today I'm making a couple of different grilled cheese sandwiches, starting with the mildest cheese, mozzarella. Let's face it, it's not normally a good choice on its own, as it's creamy and lacking saltiness. But if you were paying attention earlier, you would have noticed that I've already transformed the flavour profile by salting the bread. Use a lot of cheese. I'm using about 100 grams of mozzarella, probably more. Grilled cheese is best cooked in a non-stick pan. Now for the next trick. Because both buttered sides of the bread are together, you won't get it all over your fingers as you lift it into the pan. Simply lift the top piece into the pan like so, and put the other slice on top, buttered side up, of course. Do not toast the top piece in the pan separately, as it will overcook before the cheese melts. Low and slow is the way to go if you want that cheese to flow. If you try this on medium or high, the bread will be burnt well before the cheese melts.
Push down, and that helps to get the cheese nicely melted.
No!
It should take 3 to 4 minutes each side, depending on the thickness of your bread. That's the ticket. Hit that like button if you like your grilled cheese looking like this, perfectly golden brown and crispy. Once both sides are done to your liking, remove from the pan. Cut in half and leave to rest for a minute or two. This allows the cheese to come down to a safe temperature and allows the cheese to merge for that cheese pull clout. This is simply the best grilled cheese I've ever tasted, which is surprising considering mozzarella is such a bland cheese on its own. That salty, buttery goodness really shines here, with the combination of the creamy, stretchy cheese and the super crispy toasted bread. But we can do better. Following all the same steps, but this time using some of my favourite cheese, cheddar and Gouda. Just like before, butter the bread and lightly salt, and place into the pan buttered side down on low heat. Flip after about 3 to 4 minutes and remove. Cut and let cool for a minute or two if you're patient enough, and enjoy. What a treat! You get that crispy, perfectly seasoned, buttery flavour for the first few seconds that is then shortly overwhelmed by gooey, cheesy goodness. This truly is the best, worst sandwich. So greasy, but so satisfying. Please subscribe and thanks for watching.